Hello everyone. So in this particular video, we will be configuring the GitHub app and like registry configuration. So it's all related to the Konflux video series. So in the earlier video, we discussed about the Konflux and installed it on a local OpenShift 4 cluster. So in the same reference guide, in the 13th section, GitHub app and registry, all the steps are present, like how we can configure the GitHub app and everything. So yeah, let's start with it. So first of all, we are going to create a webhook secret. So that is going to be created with this particular command. So this will be required in the registry configurations. So yeah, let's run this command. So we just need to take a note of it. So this is the webhook secret we will be using everywhere. And then we need to get the like pipeline as a code controller route host name that will be passed in the GitHub application webhook URL. So if your cluster is reachable over the internet, like the routes are reachable over the internet, then you can use this particular pipeline as a code route. So with this command, we just verified if that route is available or not. So that route is available and created, and we can get the URL of it with this command. So this is the URL, but as I mentioned, the locally deployed OpenShift cluster is not reachable over the internet. That's why we opted for the SME channel, and we will be using this particular SME channel that we created earlier. So I have explained all those things here, like if GitHub needs to post webhook events to your controller URL and your cluster is behind VPN firewall or maybe private network, then you can use that SME channel URL. So yeah, and coming to the other part. So first of all, we are already having our webhook secret exported, and we are going to use the SME channel. So for the SME channel, the webhook URL is already exported in the first step of the Konflux installation. So if I do echo and the webhook URL, so right now it is set to this, but what we can do, we can export it to that SME channel URL. So yeah, this is the webhook URL. Going back to the reference guide. So here, we just need to follow the steps. We need to configure the repository, the GitHub app ID, and all those things. All right, so let's go to the GitHub app, GitHub, and follow these configurations. So I will open my GitHub account and I will go to the settings, and here in the application part, we can like create a new applications basically. So I will click on my GitHub apps here and click on new GitHub app. So yeah, I need to authenticate first. So let me authenticate. All right, so the basic configuration. So I will just put the GitHub app name here, mine Konflux CI. The description will always remain same, or you can put anything here. And in the homepage URL, you can put anything, it doesn't matter. So I'm just putting my like blog post site and the callback URL. So yeah, the callback URL can be empty, and rest of the configuration can also be empty. So here comes the very important part, the webhook. So in the webhook, we need to put the SME channel URL. So that's what the same explained here. So webhook should be active, and the webhook URL should be either your pipeline as a code route if it is accessible over the internet, or the SME channel URL. So I will just copy paste the SME channel URL here. And the webhook secret is the one that we exported earlier. Do webhook secret. So this is our webhook secret. I will put it here. And for now, I will like I can keep it enabled. But let's say if your route is accessible over the internet and it is using self-censored, then you must set the SSL verification to disabled. Otherwise, the events will fail due to the self-censor certificate and all. Okay, so webhook part is done. And for the repository permissions, all these required permissions are given here. So let's go to the repository permissions and we need to enable all those things. All right, so the permissions have been configured and we need to subscribe to these events as well. So scrolling down. So yeah, these are the events we need to subscribe to. Okay, so we have subscribed to the correct events. And then like where can this GitHub app be installed? So any account or yeah, like your account. So I will go ahead with only on this particular account. And let's click on create GitHub app. So yeah, the GitHub app has been created now. Coming back to the reference guide, and after this we need to scroll down and create a private key that will be used in our cluster for authentication and all. So if I scroll down and I can create a private key from here, and where exactly I want to save it. So I want to save it in downloads. So the GitHub key has been downloaded and saved. And then install the app on a particular repository, basically like for which repositories we want to configure the CI/CD and all. So like we need to select those repositories. So what we can do, we can first of all save the changes and come to install app, and we can click on install. So here either we can select all repository or selected repository, like on which repositories we want to use this. So for now I will select all repositories and click install. Okay, and now comes the secret creation part. So basically with whatever details like the private key, the app ID and webhook secret, we need to create the secret in correct namespaces. So let's export the environment variables. So the GitHub app ID will be present in that particular application. If I click on configure and app settings, so this is the app ID. And then comes the private key part. So first of all, I will get the path of my key. So yeah, this is the complete path of the key that we created. So webhook secret is already exported here. And now we can just run this command. So it depends, like either you can export the key path or the key content. So accordingly, the command will work. So yeah, the secret has been created in these three namespaces: OpenShift-pipelines, the build service, and then the integration service, because it's required. And then we can verify the secret as well. So yeah, the secret has been created successfully. And then comes the QA.io registry credentials part. So in the first video, we already set up the QA account and generated the robot account credentials. So what we can do, we can export this environment variable, because there is a namespace default -tenant, which is labeled with certain labels so that it can be discovered by the Konflux. So if I go to the Konflux dashboard and click on namespaces, this namespace is already there. So that's why we are going to use this particular namespace for all of our CI/CD work. So yeah, the variable has been exported and we can see the labels of it. So if you see, the certain labels are there, which makes it discoverable by Konflux and all. And even you can create your own namespace and label it correctly. Like this is the very important label, which makes it listed in the Konflux. And then for creating the secret, we need to export our JSON file that contains the qa.io registry secret. So it is already present in this directory once you do podman login. So I will just export this particular environment variable for this particular file path. And just verify if any secret is there or not with the same name in the default init namespace. If it is there, it will delete it, this command. And then we can create a new secret. Okay, so the secret has been created now. And we need to label this secret. So let's say any of the component CRD we create in the default init namespace, it can utilize this secret for image pull and image push operations. So yeah, so this is the label we applied to the secret. And now we can verify the secret now. So yeah, that is there, and verify the contents of it. So yeah, contents are also there, and just check the labels for the secret. Yeah, so label is also there. So yeah, that was it for this GitHub app and registry part. And in the next video, we will be continuing with the onboarding application part. So thanks a lot, everyone.